We live?
Oh, we live.
Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we? Turn it up. Bang it, bang it, bang it, bang it. You like that remix?
Hell yeah, brother.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of our sports segment from the cave, 5P0RT5. Before we begin, make sure you check us out at cave.com/sports. That's K4V3.com/5P0RT5. You like that slogan? Don't forget to pick something up from our sponsors at SafeLightCandle.com. Safe Light Candle is a website that sells LED light fixtures for your home, studio, or workspace. SafeLightCandle.com. Stay lit for the low. And now, finally, Joe Reezy is back in this motherfucking sports segment. That's how you do an intro, yo. All these jabronis doing these intros on the sports segments, sounding like fucking Helen Keller at a kindergarten trying to do the ABCs and shit, man. Let's put a competitive element and component to this sports hosting. You know what I'm saying? I'm going all heel right now.
Damn, all right.
This is where, since, you know, I feel like when we run these sports segments, you can kind of tell what kind of sports we're going to be talking about based on the host. And it's Zach and me, you know what I mean? What are we going to talk about? Obviously going to talk about wrestling. So I'm turning up the heel quality. Just like J2 said, you know, it's fun to be the heel because I can say whatever the fuck I want. And I'm barely on these sports segments anyways because I think sports is fake and it's October. So I'm unleashed from the Cave of Wonders and I'm out and about, you know what I mean? So I think we should do a little sports segment maybe sometime this month about is sports fake, you know what I mean? Or are sports fake, however you say that. Be a good rabbit hole.
All right. It's interesting.
So that'll be fun. But you know, here we're gonna talk wrestling right now. There's been some crazy free agency moves in the biggest names in the pro wrestling landscape, and that's WWE and AEW. So to get that started, Zach, take us there, baby.
Yeah, well, the biggest news recently in terms of signings up until 24 hours ago was Jade Cargill is heading from AEW to WWE. This is somebody that, I think was universally regarded as a superstar that needed to jump from AEW to WWE to take that next step in their development. So the already potent women's division of WWE gets even more potent with Jade. A lot of untapped potential there. We saw a lot of star power, a lot of, of her aura that was built through AEW with, obviously the long title reign that she had, undefeated streak.
Right.
Put her in NXT. I personally think she can be in the main roster, but I'm assuming she's going to start with NXT. Not going to be there long. Just going to be there to hone maybe the promo skills, a little bit of ring work. Get some reps, because that's what she was talking about in her interviews was reps. She's just like looking for the reps to get right. But she's talking about main event in WrestleMania, and I could definitely see it. This is a big time addition, and she's going to do nothing but thrive in WWE for sure. I think she would have been chill in AEW still. She had mentioned that she really wanted to work with some of the women over there that had titles currently and just wasn't able to for whatever reason.
Right.
But bro, some of the women she could fight, in WWE, just like instant. Just I'm thinking about the outfit she got and just money. You know what I'm saying? Becky, Charlotte,
right.
Bayley, freaking Bianca, of course. Like that's
there's
the biggest
there's
matchup
a deep
that everyone's
list of
talking
names,
about.
right? For sure.
Even Nia Jax, like that's gonna be dope. Shayna Baszler. Like just a lot of different styles. Tiff Stratton, Roxy Perez down there in NXT. lot of names she could work with and a lot of good wrestlers she could work with in WWE. So I'm super jacked for this.
Right. I feel like, too, this is one of those. This is one of the first signings from the WWE Endeavor merger. You know what I mean? So I feel like
this is the first one.
There's a lot of intent behind, I feel like, the people that they signed. And I feel like, with a signing like Jade Cargill, you kind of know how she's going to be pushed. You know what I mean? Dude, ask Danny. Every time she comes out when I watch AEW with her, I do push-ups, bro. She has the best shoulders in the game, man. I'm telling you. Look at this picture, this last one. Holy cow, bro. Yeah. Holy cow.
Insane, dude. Yeah, she definitely takes care of herself, man. Just built insane. Definite China vibes, just in terms of being, like that ninth wonder of the world type of like aura to her. Like I said, I mentioned her aura earlier. Like there's something to her. Like when she's on screen, she demands your respect and her presence. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm excited to see what, the people that are running the show right now creatively in WWE are going to do with her. Yeah, dude, this is a big time. It's the biggest women's signing in a long time in pro wrestling. And, it came out, I think, in the media scrum last night, Tony had that, the last offer that he made was more than the first offer. And it was just pretty clear after he said that like Jade needed and wanted to come to WWE.
Yeah. I mean, what else could she accomplish in AEW? I feel like, you know what I mean? She left her stamp, and I don't think anyone's going to beat that streak, just because AEW just comes with fresh talent. You might even say monthly,
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just like up and coming talents. They're like big. I mean, we'll talk about the next slide right now. It's almost a trade, right? Big stars that they're signing about like bi-weekly, maybe monthly, And I also heard that possibly Dolph Ziggler might be coming AEW.
That would be a big get for AEW for sure. But this kind of goes with the thing though, is with like Jade when she was talking about not being able to work with those champs that have belts right now, is because a lot of them are. I mean, if you look at all the outcasts over there, they're all ex-WWE women,
Right.
So like, there's mouths to feed there, and unfortunately, Jade kind of just got lost in the shuffle, which shouldn't happen with someone that's like as raw as her. But like, you can see the money and the potential in her. Like, she should never have gotten lost over there. So, putting her with the TBS championship, I get it. She had some gold to walk around with, but it never felt like she was like elevated, to where she deserved to be.
Right. It's weird because. It's funny how this ties into Christian. The TNT title, I felt like really didn't hold weight up until, there's this potential Christian versus Edge feud, and Edge potentially getting that TNT title, you know what I mean, from Christian.
Yeah.
Possibly. And being his first title in AEW. So as far as the belts, we joked about it with J2 and Danny about AEW has a belt for everything. They got the triple title belts. They have a TNT and a TBS. TBS gets defended on TNT. TNT gets defended on TBS.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. Tony does.
Yeah. That was just unfortunate semantics with like contracts and TV deals with that, but it is something funny to like joke around about for sure.
Right, but I mean, I guess you could say it depends on who holds the title and how they kind of rock it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The undefeated streak definitely added to her title reign, I would say. So that was a good move for AEW to put that undefeated kind of aura around her. But her, like you were saying, there's a deep list of people in WWE that she could potentially feud with. Just going up those list of names is just going to be fucking TV, bro. 5-star TV, I feel like. If she performs safely, you know what I mean? Coming from AEW, she definitely got to watch out for her.
Yeah, when that's where the reps comes in, for sure. If she gets those reps, she's going to be able to work, a lot smoother, I would say. But also that rawness is unique. When these, young superstars come up and you can tell that they're, going to be something on the road. Like Braun Breaker was the same way. Like they just need reps, man. The more reps they get, the better they're going to get. And the way she was talking in the interviews at first, like she's ready and she's willing to do whatever it takes to get to where she wants to be, because everyone sees the potential, and most importantly, she sees it in herself. So I'm excited for that. As for Adam Copeland, I'm going to respect that.
I need to get used to it, bro. That's definitely not on the tip of my tongue. I was about to say into this segment.
So for Adam, there's a lot of Adams, by the way. Maybe too many Adams in AEW. But for this Adam, when Christian re-upped recently, I thought to myself, like, when Edge's deal is up, he's going to go, because that's going to be the only way he gets to work with Christian again in a meaningful way when they still have miles in the tank. So I wasn't surprised. It was literally the first day he was a free agent, pops up, signs All Elite full-time. We saw that he could still be full-time with WWE. So I'm happy to be able to see more of Adam, to be honest with you. I am still upset. Like, I don't know if we talked about it on here, but the Demon should have beat his ass at WrestleMania. I'm still bummed that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Even though the match was dope, the Hell in a Cell match was super dope. That was my only thing that I would say was, like, I had a knock on Edge. And it's really nitpicking because I didn't think I'd see Edge wrestle again. So that's my only knock against his run, his most recent run with WWE. But super happy for him, and obviously the way that he debuted with AEW was in a program with Christian. So I'm sure Tony Khan's like, hold my beer, bro. Yeah, that's
just wait, bro.
This is a big get though for them. Not only on TV, and he's gonna pop ratings. He's gonna obviously attract more eyeballs. Like, we'll see how much star power he has. But backstage, like, this dude, like, I don't know if you saw the video. There's a video going around of FTR marking out behind the stage when Edge came back through after the show was up.
No, I didn't see.
He's gonna be a big backstage presence, dude, and that's something that the next person we'll talk about, maybe had a lack thereof at the towards the end of his run in AEW. That Edge definitely is going to bring and improve for AEW. So big time get, both in front of the camera and behind.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I watched that media scrum, and he looks so happy to be there. He looked more excited than the interviewers. It seemed like he had more energy than the press. I felt. And
if there's anything that we can talk about with him, is that this dude loves wrestling.
For sure. Yeah.
So
I didn't know until I heard him in a few podcasts how much he loved wrestling. Like, that this is his life, and he's so grateful to be able to be, one of the people that, pushed the envelope for wrestling and was a part of the Attitude Era, kind of the tail end of that. What he was in Ministry, bro.
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah,
Ministry of Darkness.
He was part
corporate
of
ministry.
Jesus. Yeah, and I think there are rumblings about that too, about getting Gangrel involved with this stuff with him and Christian. So yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna have some fun with this, dude. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and then the matchups for him in AEW. I mean, obviously we've seen Daniel Bryan and him go at it, but dude, Adam Copeland versus Kenny Omega, I'm down. That'd be pretty sick, dude.
Right.
Samoa Joe, like MJF,
Jeff Hardy,
promos, dude.
Matt Hardy.
Yeah. I mean, when we talk about miles left in the tank, it's crazy to think about that they're similar in, like, years being a pro wrestler, but man, Edge just has so much more energy than those other two do.
Hey, I saw this funny comment on Reddit. I think it said, "What do you think the over/under is for JR saying Edge on air accidentally instead of Adam Copeland?" I'd say it's got to be high, man. I'd say it's got to be fucking.
It's gonna be a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'll take the over.
It's hard. I mean, even for us, MJF kind of slipped too during the media scrum. He did slip, so What was cool about Edge, like I said, he was super happy and appreciative to be
Tony
there.
caught his ass,
And
though.
he also said he felt free, right? He said he felt like, it was the first time where he had creative freedom. He's of how he wanted to take his character, as far as he wanted to work with certain people, and he said he hadn't felt like that since the indie days, back in the indie days. So fucking debuting against Luchasaurus. Pray for Edge, baby. Luchasaurus is a dangerous man. And it's not because he's no dinosaur, bro.
Damn, Jurassic. Edge was talking about how he felt like him and WWE outgrew each other and that they didn't have much left for him to do there. So, which, I mean, I don't hate it. He's not lying, but I definitely think there was still some stuff he could have done. It was just a matter of I don't know. I think he'll probably be better off, at least right now, in AEW, but he'll be back in WWE for his Hall of Fame run.
Mm-hmm.
Or his second Hall of Fame run with Edge and Christian, because they haven't been inducted yet. So
I think, as far as, the question behind the fallout between these two, AEW and CM Punk, was it the toxicity coming from CM Punk, or was it the AEW locker room? Because there's a lot of criticism towards Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks as well. A lot of people are calling him immature EVPs, and I feel like we'll see right now. I feel like Edge is a perfect measure because you hear nothing but good things about Edge. He seems excited to work with anybody. Going straight for Darby Allin and pushing Darby Allin to the main event is the right move. Someone needs to put more respect on Darby Allin's name. Appreciate that man while you fucking can, man, because that guy's not going to be able to do that for much longer at the level he's doing that.
Yeah, he's a maniac, dude. Darby, I always feel like if you're gonna come in and you want to make an impression right away, you go and shake Darby's hand and you pump him up and you give him your love, because the fans are gonna appreciate it too, and that's the best way to get on the fans' good side. So if you're gonna be a face and debut, like there's not too many people better to give the shine to than Darby. So you're absolutely right, and yeah, he's pretty much in that Mick Foley mold of like putting his body on the line for us, the fans. And yeah, we don't know how much he's going to be able to take, but I'm definitely appreciating him while he's still willing to do that for us,
So Edge being, super willing to work with anybody, feeling like he was already scouting AEW prior to moving there. So he kind of mapped out, who he wanted to work with to kind of build up. Which is why he mentioned he knew Luchasaurus and he saw a lot of potential in him, which anybody sees potential in Luchasaurus. The man fucking does shooting star presses, fucking spinning kicks, breaks people's arms literally.
Jesus.
Hey Lucha, it's still beef between you and me. Jungle Boy, you too, bro.
Damn.
If I see you on the streets, it's fucking
Reese doesn't forget.
Canadian destroyer on site.
I'm sorry.
But what's called, we'll see now. I feel like how because right now I heard MJF saying that the locker room and backstage right now is the best it's ever been. So we'll see how close knit and tightly, you know what I mean, how cool they are backstage. But CM Punk, we spoke about Endeavor signing Jade Cargill and that being an obvious, you know what I mean, lucrative signing. This is kind of obvious too, bro. It looks inevitable. What do you think?
Ultimately, I think money will win out, and I think there's a lot of money to be had with Punk back in WWE.
For sure.
A lot. And for him and for what he's worth, I think he also knows that as well. The difference in why I think it'll work better in WWE with where he's at now, because he went to AEW to try that out. It wasn't WWE. And that ultimately, in my opinion, is a bad thing for him because the structure that WWE has in place and like the levels to get to certain people and the accessibility that, wrestlers have to upper management, I think plays well into the hand of like how to keep CM Punk, I guess, like, how do I say this? Obedient in a way. He doesn't have the free reign to think that he can just talk to anybody any way he wants in WWE as much as the opportunity is there in AEW, which is why I think it ultimately led to, Brawl Out. Because Punk was like, fuck it, I'm just going to talk about him. And like, these guys are like, now that we know what we know, like the situation could have been avoided. It should have been avoided. Neither party did it enough to help themselves out. And Tony was definitely stuck in the middle. Had never dealt with something like that before. But Punk and, the Elite are both wrong for what happened. That being said, I think Punk and WWE would be a better fit. I think it would be a great fit for him to end his wrestling career there. And, Hall of Fame, all that stuff, playing a factor into that as well. So, and there's some money to be had with the superstars that are there. I mean, him and Seth Rollins, it's kind of a feud that's been in the background on social media going on, and even in interviews recently too. There's been some starting to be a little bit of foreshadowing on people saying best in the world and stuff like that in promos nowadays. So I think it's definitely something that can happen. And Survivor Series is in Chicago, so that's definitely an event that I'm looking forward to in terms of if it's going to happen. It'll give him enough time to have his non-compete, if there is one, expire. And I'm really going to look forward and pay attention to what they do for the main event for that show, because if it's Roman and somebody, hey, dude, I'm just saying, I could see that there's a program there for Roman, because he was the one that was saying that Chris Hero was supposed to be in the Shield and not Roman, and he was bitter about that. There's some blood there, dude, from 10 years ago. But Seth. If Seth's champion at Survivor Series, I mean, we might get Seth versus Roman at Survivor Series in the main event. And Cult of Personality hits, that roof's going to come off, dude.
Oh, man, you heard it here first, baby. It's...
Same.
I mean,
Pay attention
why
to that main
not?
event.
Yeah, why not? If you're Endeavor, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he has a great relationship with Endeavor, supposedly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So... money talks, dude. That's what this business is about. Money, dude.
Well, I mean, as long
that Brett
as he
photo right there, dude. Look at that Brett flag.
as long as he loses to the tribal chief, it's all good with me. You know what I mean? He can join that squad with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and all those fucking losers over there.
Yo, KO Punk, Sammy Punk. There's some matchups to be had there, dude. Cody versus Punk.
Cody versus Punk would be dope. Cody versus Punk would be dope.
A lot of money to be had, like I said.
We did mention Darby Allin. Man, This guy. Also, being the one to bring in Edge, I feel like this man's already in the Hall of Fame in my book, which is crazy.
Who, Darby?
Darby Allin, yeah.
And he's got a lot more left in him too, so
right.
He's on his way for sure.
That match, though, like I said, I feel like Christian is at his height right now of his career, even though this
is probably the best Christian's been.
Pretty sloppy, but yeah, I feel like this is the best Christian's ever been. Is it because AEW lets him, have that creative freedom to be who he is? Will we see a different Adam Copeland that we've never seen? Because besides the Matt Hardy stuff, I feel like Edge has kind of been the same Edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't
you kind of seen more of him than I have.
Yeah, I don't think he had a lot of chains on him, so to speak. I think he, like, what you saw in WWE was majority him. So I think he's going to be pretty much the same. He'll just be more colorful with like the words he gets to use. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much going to be status quo for Adam Copeland in AEW.
Yeah, Christian Cage. Sting. I didn't actually get to see the match, but obviously I saw the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
So this bastard Nick Wayne obviously turned on Darby Allin.
In front of his mom, too, dude. His mom sold that shit. Shout out to moms, dude. When your boy does something nefarious like Nick Wayne, dude, and you have no other choice but to just be so appalled, man. Shout out to Nick Wayne's mom, dude. That sold that shit like nobody's business. That like added the exclamation mark to the turn.
Man, all right, let's get to NXT No Mercy. I didn't get to see this, but I'm a big fan of Becky, and she's a champion now, right?
Yeah, NXT Women's Champion, and she ended up retaining in the main event of this event. This was in Bakersfield, California.
Okay.
I really wanted to go to this, but it worked out to where we didn't go. But dude, this was one of the best NXT cards, probably the best of this year. Like I said, Bex and Tiffany main evented Extreme Rules match. Insane between these two. Becky is currently in arguably her best run of her career. She had the cage match with Trish, and then she had the Extreme Rules match with Tiffany Stratton, and she's putting Tiffany over like nobody's business as well. Tiffany's a future star. We mentioned her as someone that Jade is going to be able to feud with down the road. Yeah, dude, that women's match closed the show, deservedly so. No post, like, I think there was maybe some people that wanted Jade to show up at the end of that and attack Becky, but it's a little too soon. Let them keep showing Jade from afar and like building her up behind the scenes, you know. So it was perfect ending to that match. Another big one in this, Ilya Dragunov defeated Mello for the NXT Championship, which is a big deal. And earlier in the night, Trick Williams beat Dom for the NXT North American title. So they had a moment in between matches where Mello and Trick both had titles, which was really cool to see. And then at the end, went to Mello's locker room, and Mello was like eyeballing the NXT title or the NXT North American title because he didn't have the title anymore. So there's like seeds being planted for them down the road to feud, which was awesome. But Butch competed with Noam Dar, which was a sick match. It was awesome to see Butch back down here, wrestling somebody in Noam Dar, who's a pretty good technical wrestler, and they had a great match. Tag team match, fatal 4-way tag team matches, NXT, that's like their bread and butter, dude. When they have multi-team tag team matches, the family retained Tony D'Angelo and Stax. And the show opened actually with Breakker versus Corbin, and that match delivered for sure. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Corbin ended up getting the win there, which kind of shocked me. I figured Braun would keep getting these dubs on his way to the main roster, but they planted some seeds with Robert Stone interfering, and of course, Robert Stone is Von Wagner's man. Got taken out recently by Braun. And yeah, dude, Kaylani and Blair were on the kickoff show, and Kaylani was showing off her athleticism. She's someone to watch out for in the future. In the NXT, someone with potential. I think she was one of those recent signings like Tiffany Stratton that were just like athletes that came in, and now they're getting molded into becoming a pro wrestler, and they're kind of ahead of the game with their athleticism. So, teaching these people the ropes of pro wrestling is really going to be beneficial down the road because these athletes can do some crazy things, dude. So it's just a matter of getting them used to pro wrestling.
I don't really follow NXT as much, but I do watch the highlights that get posted up on YouTube, and I have started seeing recently the WWE stars crossing over and doing matches with the NXT stars. Is that out of the blue? Is that normal, or are these like special occasions where, Becky is a reigning champ and Dom is taking the belt?
It's like by design, bro. Like they're doing this on purpose. with this merger with TKO, man, they're trying to make NXT the third brand, and they're doing whatever it takes to put eyeballs on the product. So it's no accident. It's not something that normally happened in the past, but now going forward, like that, they're treating that time as being valuable to be able to showcase whoever they got. That's why you see a lot of stars on here that were either on the main roster recently or are still there that are in these matches. So it's just to bring eyeballs and to purposefully make this the third brand and not developmental.
Money, 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 money. Well, you know what? I will say I have heard that this NXT brand has been really crucial as far as like getting these young superstars ready for the big stage, and has been, the fine line and the main difference between the reason there's a lot of botches in AEW compared to NXT and WWE. So I hope it's instead of being focused as a third brand, it's still somewhat a developmental league, or I hope there's a developmental league that gets sprouted in, result of this becoming its main focus becoming a third brand, you know what I mean, instead of a developmental brand. So that's what I got to say about that. Let's go to Raw, Monday Night Raw. I didn't see it, but I heard there were some surprises. Take us away.
Yeah, so the main event, Gunther versus Tommaso Ciampa, IC title main event. Gunther ended up retaining. No shocker there, but the shocker came at the end. Imperium started beating up on Ciampa to close the show, and Gargano finally made his return, and DIY reunion, baby. Ciampa's been having a little bit of a, where's Johnny storyline, so it was good to see Johnny finally showing up and helping out his old friend. And now the tag team scene gets another tag team in there, and we're off and running.
Yeah, that's how it ended, right? This was the main event of Raw. How was the pop for this return?
Close the show. It was solid. I feel like people don't get the theme music for Johnny yet. Like, still, like, because when he came back in Toronto, it wasn't until I saw like Gargano on the screen when they popped. But like, when the music hits and you don't expect it, like everyone's like, you get that like weird hush and like that weird like swell, and then they realize who it is, and it's like, oh shit, Johnny. And that's kind of what happened here.
Yeah, that's why
they're in San Jose tonight. So they're a pretty good crowd, pretty good wrestling area. The Bay Area is pretty hot up there.
Yeah, man. Wrestlers, if you need one sound to kind of open up the song, that's why that Stone Cold glass breaking is just instant pop when you hear that shit. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people with glass breaking to start off.
Yeah, the songs. Guitar riff from Triple H. If you smell, like when you hear that shit hits, like there's a few of them.
Mm-hmm. You got Kane's what's called organs,
Yeah, I actually preferred that more so than like the flames just exploding. Like when you got the intro with the organ, that was sick, and then Mick Foley's car crash. Instant pop. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
All right, let's get to Fastlane preview, which is coming up this weekend. What's going on? We got LWO
this Sunday. So, versus the new heel Street Profits, Bobby Lashley team, which has been fun to watch. It's good to see a little bit of that side to the Profits. Obviously, we've seen heel Lashley before, but LWO is over, and might as well keep that run going with them. So that's going to be a fun match, obviously. The partner's either going to be Joaquin or I think Santos is with Ray, so the other Legado member is going to be joining them. Maybe might have a swerve. I don't know. We'll see about that. I don't have any inside information on that yet, but yeah. So it's going to be LWO versus the Profits and Bobby.
Well, I see that Rey Mysterio still has the U.S. title, and the way he got the U.S. title was kind of controversial, right? Do you think somewhere down the line there's going to be a turn?
Maybe down the road. I don't think it's going to be imminent though. There was actually. Now I'm thinking about it. The third member could be Carlito. He's rumored to have signed a deal with WWE, so that could be a third member, and I think that'd be a big pop, even in Indianapolis where the Fastlane's taking place. That's an option. But in terms of them splitting on each other or turning on each other, I don't think it's going to happen just quite yet. That's maybe like a Survivor Series Royal Rumble thing that might happen.
Yeah, that wouldn't be cool. Shout out to Carlito.
No. Let's get Carlito in there, though. That'd be dope.
Oh, we got a triple threat title match. Io Sky, Asuka, right?
Yep. SmackDown Women, Charlotte, Asuka, Io.
And Charlotte.
Asuka.
Man, I'm a Charlotte fan, man. I think she's.
So there's rumblings that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I had nothing to say.
About Charlotte.
Take it back.
I mean, there's not much to be said about Charlotte nowadays, dude. Honestly, because she's just in a league of her own. This match is gonna be fun to watch for the just to see these three go at it. Three of the best women in the business today. Three women that I would love to see Jade Cargill fight down the road. You know what I'm saying? But there's rumblings going around that Kairi Sane might be making her way back. So I don't know if this is the place for it, but that's interesting to think about down the road. But yeah, dude, Jade versus Charlotte. That's a WrestleMania main event, dude. That you can put that on. That's gonna be eyeballs all over it.
Shit, yeah, that definitely. I mean, you don't need your ears for that one. Oh, and we got a tag team title match.
No, you don't.
Yo, I wouldn't.
This was made official tonight, bro.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes take the titles, but that just brings less significance.
That'd be weird, huh?
Titles,
but like good though, I think.
Yeah.
Significance. I mean, yeah, sure, because they're kind of playing hot potato with them since KO
and it's both of them. You know what I mean? Like they're passing off both titles. So I don't know.
They gotta split them up, dude. They gotta split up those titles. I think so too. I'm over it at this point. But Jade and Cody being tag champs would be interesting for TV for sure. And this time right now for WWE, going up against Monday Night Football every Monday, like they're gonna need something to put some eyeballs on. So I could definitely see Cody and Jay winning this, and then find out, hey, shit, what's gonna happen next? It's like, well, we gotta tune in. That's how they get us.
Right. I mean, as far as throwing something to stir the current landscape, I mean, the Judgment Day are kind of falling apart, right? There's a whole thing with what's his name, Damian Priest right now, having some drama, and the hinting of finishing the story with Cody Rhodes is seeming imminent. So it'd be cool and would add more to the story if Jay and Cody were tag team titles somewhere down the line in the making of that, I feel. So let's move on to the heavyweight title match. We got Seth Rollins, and I'm gonna leave that to you, Zach.
Yep. Nakamura. Yeah, it's the last minute standing match. We saw last slide, Damien's there. And he still has the briefcase for Money in the Bank. Them losing the tag titles and then Damien finishing it out with the World Heavyweight Championship could be something that could work. Another way to bring, like I said, eyeballs to Monday Night Raw is always a title switch just to see how it is the next night. And then there was some hinting tonight. Rhea was really getting in Damien and Dom's ass a little bit to start the show and talking about titles and stuff. So if they lose the titles earlier in the show, I could see, Damien cashing in later on, Seth or Shinsuke. Probably more likely Seth. I think he's going to win this. But, it's going to be a good way to end this feud between these two. I would love to see Shinsuke win and no cash in, and we get a championship Shinsuke. going forward. But I have a feeling Seth's going to end up winning this one. But whatever happens after happens after. So should be a good match though. These two know how to bring the best out of each other. So excited for this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when that title first came out. There was, there were a lot of photoshops of that title on different people. So I feel like it's time to move the title. So Damian Priest cashing in on Fastlane would be pretty dope. I feel like. So we'll see. The WWE tends to drag the stories. You know what I mean? And
a little bit too long.
There's no knock on that. I mean, you know what I mean? They do kind of open the story to, little inner details for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown to occur too, to lead up to the next pay-per-view. But like you said, TKO taking over, I feel like we need more ratings because competing with AEW now with Adam Copeland up in here and, whoever else might hop over, I know there were a lot of layoffs in the WWE department, so I'm sure Tony saved up after firing CM Punk.
Yeah, he's got some money to spend, huh?
Yeah, some cap space, man. All right, and we got the main event. This is the main event, right?
I'm assuming it's going to be the main event.
All right, we got what's left of the Bloodline. Handicap match. We got the Bloodline versus LA Knight. Yeah. What happened? Why is this a handicap match?
Classic, dude. It's funny because it was initially a handicap match until this last Friday when
I didn't even know that.
LA Knight came back and signed the contract to be John's partner, but it was Cena versus the Bloodline for a week. So that's hilarious that you brought that up, dude. Yeah, I mean, there's someone missing in the middle, right? We can't see him. We were talking before we hopped on about how funny it was to see Jay kind of Jimmy try and take charge of the Bloodline and try and beat Roman, because we obviously haven't seen Roman in some time here now. But yeah, I mean, they're still getting the reaction. It's still the Bloodline because they built it so well. They built the story so well. The audience respects the Bloodline and their, the aura that they have. We talked a lot about auras tonight, but that's kind of what, makes these teams and these superstars special, and that's what LA Knight has going on. This is really a big spot for LA Knight. He's the one that stands out here as maybe doesn't belong. 6 months ago we would have said that. Now he's getting the loudest pops when he's just coming out second to Cody. He's going to benefit a lot from this. This is massive for LA Knight, and his push is we're in it right now, so let's let it ride. You know what I'm saying?
This is, I talked about WWE kind of dragging the storyline, and a lot of people were kind of upset and disappointed that the push for LA Knight hasn't already been triggered or started. But, that's the thing. They let them cook. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing.
Let them cook.
And, a storyline with the Bloodline for LA Knight's pop, I feel like is well received and is well deserved for him.
Yeah, it's just logical too. When you have a heel faction that's so hated, other than Dom, but Bloodline, they respect them. They hate on him for sure. With all the different, iterations we've had, you throw the top babyface against them, and you keep that momentum going. You want to have those opposite reactions for the crowd to be able to, give to the superstars, and you team up LA Knight with arguably the one of the greatest baby faces of all time. So this is going to be cool to see. I think this is main eventing just based on that alone, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if he gets the pin on Solo, bro, jeez.
I mean, we know Jimmy's taking the fall, dog. They're still built. Hey, they're taking good care of Solo. That's something that I think we need to bring some attention to. Solo really getting some love there, dude. They're protecting his ass. He took some L's in a couple of matches early on, but they know what they're doing with Solo. We know what they're doing with Solo, dog. We
Yeah,
smell that shit.
is it still looking like he's next up?
Bro, he's the next tribal chief.
Damn, I can't wait for that, bro.
Yeah, he's the next. I don't think he's gonna end the reign, but like, fuck, that's something that could happen, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Solo's that dude, and Heyman could facilitate that, and you add another layer to that storyline. You want to turn Roman face and be that massive baby face like Vince always wanted. That's what you do. You have Solo turn on him.
Right.
Solo gets the heat. Roman gets to go away, come back as a babyface. Like, have Solo cost Roman the title match, like whenever that is, and that's money. And then they can still feud with themselves, and it doesn't take away from anybody else.
That's the basic Paul Heyman formula too. You know, being the mouthpiece for the big powerhouse heel. So,
yep, he did that shit with Brock. He turned on. He had Big Show become his new client, and that's how he turned on Brock initially.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man, well, shit. It's good to do another wrestling episode. Danny, we miss you, man. I got to get you back on here.
bro, we miss you, dog. We need you back in this, dude. It may not look like it, but we miss you.
Not look like it, bro, but we miss you. That's fucking hilarious. All right, that wraps up our episode of sports.
Hey, hold on, dog. Hold on, wait.
What's
real
up,
quick, is that Jurassic Express behind you, dog?
This guy? No. Man. Yeah, right, bro. I think this might be the highlight of their careers, bro. In my opinion.
Hey, who would have thought that dude on the left would have been the reason why CM Punk is not in AEW anymore?
Yo, right? That's what I'm saying, man.
That's wild, dude.
That's either.
That is sick that you had that, bro.
My thing is, that's either CM Punk really showing that he's hard to work with, or jabroni Jack Perry is really just a fucking jabroni ass Jack Perry, man. So it's either or.
I don't know, but hey, I'll tell you what, we'll know a lot if we see CM Punk pop up in WWE, though, dog.
Oh yeah, if that song hits, like I said, I mean, just look at the Cody Rhodes pop when his song goes on. You know, it's weird hearing that song in AEW. You know, rewatching old AEW videos and hearing his song, and no one really gives a fuck when he comes out. And now it's like the most over. Well, besides LA Knight, I feel like it's the most over babyface song right now. I feel.
Bro, they got Wichita, Kansas singing that shit. Like, come on. Of course, like that's massive.
All right, let's wrap it up. This wraps up our episode of sports. That's 5P0RT5. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to talk more wrestling or sports, make sure you join a Discord on our website. We got the link. That's cave.com, k4v3.com. And don't forget to check out safelightcandle.com as well. Zach, it was fun. See you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys catch us on the Cave Podcast. Peace out.
Later.